Talkin', coming to you live from Tiger Media Net, presenting the new episode of It Came from the DVD Collection. Take it away, John and Connor.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is John Billinger, and this is...
I'm Connor Keating.
Yeah, woo! And today, we will be reviewing... a little bit of a slip there. We'll be reviewing Matinee, woo, by director Joe Dante. Now, at the time we are recording this, it will probably be a few weeks till this video premieres because I've been kind of lazy with the editing of these videos. This is currently the last week of the semester, so this will probably be the last episode for a while.
Mm-hmm. We're hoping to do maybe some stuff during the summer, but it'll be like
once a month.
Yeah, like 2 to 3, like over the summer.
Yeah, sporadically.
Yeah,
but we'll see how that works out. But I decided, since this is going to be the last movie we're going to be reviewing when we get together for a while, we should watch a quote-unquote summary movie, or summer-esque movie. And so I decided to go with a movie that not necessarily is a monster movie, but does have a lot to do with monster movies, and that movie is, as I stated earlier, the Joe Dante 1993 movie, Matinee. Ooh.
Yeah, and unlike a lot of our previous episodes, this episode is being recorded directly after we just watched the movie.
Yeah, because of Connor's schedule.
Yeah, my scheduling. I have one final class. It's not even a final, and so because of that, I am. I live in McMidas. You'll want to be out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah, so we literally just watched the movie at my place. And then we went to the recording studio to record this like really quick.
Yeah, so
not really like a recording studio, really more of a closet.
It's pretty much a closet. With fancy computers.
Oh yeah.
So
record at Hammond Hall. There's your plug there, Mr. Heitman, for Hammond Hall. I've been told to advertise.
We got to advertise. Yes, join in or whatever.
Informatics department. Woo-hoo. So anyway, a bit of background on the movie. Matinee is a 1993, coming of age kind of monster movie type of movie. Directed by Joe Dante, the director behind such prestigious films such as Gremlins, which is probably his most famous movie,
and Piranha,
yeah, and he also directed like the Halloween, Small Soldiers, Gremlins 2, and that segment of the Twilight Zone movie that is one of the saving graces of that movie.
Yeah, I like Twilight Zone, but I've not seen the movie.
You've never even heard of it until I mentioned it.
I knew that there was a Twilight Zone
movie. I don't even know how you didn't know about the thing. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked here. We shouldn't talk about that thing.
We're probably going to watch that at some point. Anyways.
But, so this movie is about a group of kids in Key West, Florida, basically. They're going to see a monster movie, and there at the theater is a director by William Castle, who is based off a real-life director. And the movie wasn't that big of a hit when it came out in the theaters, but, it's kind of a cult following, and you can definitely see why. So first, tell me, Connor, what are your general thoughts on the movie?
It's pretty good, pretty fun. It's a little insane because essentially
the coming of age movie.
Yeah, because essentially it's just a movie about kids going to see a monster movie and the kooky director kind of like being there while they're watching it. Oh yeah, and the Cuban Missile Crisis is going on.
I forgot to mention that earlier. I guess we'll mention that. We'll mention that when we get the more detailed synopsis. For the movie, but this movie is a pretty crazy thrill ride. Anyway, I've seen this movie before. You've probably never heard of it.
I didn't know. I don't think I have heard of this movie before.
But I did because I'm a fan of these kinds of movies. Joe Dante, I'm a fan of. Watch his videos on Trailers from Hell. There's a plug for Joe Dante if you're listening to this.
For Joe Dante's YouTube channel.
Yeah. But, hey, if you want to be a guest on the show,
we'll watch Piranha.
Yeah, you can invite him down here. I'm sure he'd be dying to come down here to this small town and
Watch Piranha.
Watch Piranha with these two
random
guys.
Random guys.
Yeah. Anyway, I really like this movie. It's been a few years since I saw it, but then I was like, oh yeah, we gotta do this movie because it's a fun movie, you know. So I suppose I should now give a more detailed synopsis on the film. No, I just need to look up the characters' names.
Oh. Also, you said that the director was played by
John Goodman.
William Castle. He's played by. You said he's played by William Castle.
Oh.
We'll leave it in.
Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So the movie is set in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it's set in the small town of Key West, Florida. And the main character of the movie is this kid named Gene, who is this, monster movie obsessed kid in, I guess, like 8th grade or something like that.
Middle school.
Yeah. Anyway, his dad is in the Navy, so he's out
in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, doing like the blockade stuff and all that. So yeah, and his family is really stressed out about that and all that. And he's trying to fit in at school, and he makes some friends, and he finds out that his favorite director is doing the premiere of his newest movie in Key West, Florida, which is we'll talk about that movie. That movie deserves a whole section of this whole thing of itself. There's really 2 movies in this thing. Anyway, so yeah, his friend's trying to get a date, and this kid's friend's trying to get a date to this thing with this girl, and then this girl's ex-girlfriend's trying to kill him, and then there's a bunch of stuff with the director, and there's some stuff with the side characters, and there's this movie theater manager who has a bomb shelter.
He's got a fallout shelter, yeah.
Yeah, and it just culminates in this crazy series of climaxes at the end of this movie. This movie has like 4 climaxes.
4 or 5 climaxes. Like, it's an insane amount of climaxes for a pretty, not like a high stakes plot. Like, you hear, he's gonna go see a monster movie, and that's like kind of like the surface level plot. And then it's like, oh yeah, Cuban Missile Crisis is going on.
Yeah.
And there's there's a killer ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it just keeps escalating.
Bomb shelter and all that.
Yeah,
the theater's falling apart because it's like 40 years old. It's pretty crazy. It kind of reminds me of Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Which starts out as like the story of like Arnold Schwarzenegger being a dad. And he's trying to get a toy for his kid, and then it culminates in a climax straight out of like The Rocketeer or something like that.
That's still, I think, a little bit more crazier than this.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, because for unlike that movie, which is full of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
The first 2/3 of this movie are fairly normal.
Yeah, this is a pretty normal movie for the first chunk, and then the third act kind of goes a little off the rail, but it's still not unbelievably off the rail. Though the separating balcony is a little extreme, but
extreme could have been alright at Universal Studios for a while.
Yeah,
I think this film was at parts of the outdoor scenes were filmed at Universal.
Dude, I think
Studios.
they totally should have had a section I guess this movie wasn't that big, but have a section in Universal Studios where you have the movie within the movie as a 4D ride, and you have all that effects and stuff. I think that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be cool, but Universal Studios, I mean, I've never been to the park in Orlando.
I've been to the park in Orlando.
Have you ever been to the one in California?
No.
I've been to the one in California.
I don't like California.
Majority of the rides I find I have a love-hate relationship with Universal. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of movie studios.
The one in Orlando is pretty good. All right.
Well, I feel like Universal Studios, they try to say, yeah, we're dedicated to our history, but most of the rides at their park are based on movies that they didn't make, and that really bothers me. Anyway, that's a whole. I don't want to get into that because I've pissed off a few friends of mine a couple years ago with that talk.
Did they make Harry Potter?
No, that was Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers made Harry Potter, and Universal gets to make the theme. And I don't.
Who did Peter Jackson King Kong?
Well, Universal.
Okay, so they got that. Anyways, back to Matinee.
Yeah. Back to the movie,
which is a Universal movie.
Yeah, this is a Universal movie, so they could do that, but I don't think they're going to because, that'd be cool.
Oh, that reminds me though, real quick though. at Universal Studios, they have like a whole cafe there, like a place to eat that's dedicated to the Universal's monsters.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
We ate there. It's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
So yeah.
I know they don't have a huge presence there year round. They're more of like a Halloween thing over there.
Oh well, the whole crew, but like that restaurant's always there.
Yeah, which is that's cool. But
anyways, back to this movie.
Yeah,
Getting sidetracked as usual.
Anyway, I think the plot is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun plot. It keeps it from being a bit of a drab
standard kind of coming of age movie.
Yeah,
something like I don't know. My mom would make me watch.
Yeah, something normal people would watch. But I think the standout is probably not only the movie within the movie. The movie within the movie is pretty fun. We should probably talk about that next. But the characters, which we'll get to in a bit.
The characters are a lot
But
of
I think
fun
we should talk about the movie within the movie.
Oh boy, yeah. So this movie, while we were watching it, Connor said, this movie is way better. The movie that they're watching is a movie called Mant, which is about a guy who turns into a giant Ant-Man, and then eventually turns into this giant
ant. Just a big ant monster.
Yeah. And while we were watching it, we were like, wow, this is a lot better than most 1950s monster movies.
I mean, to be fair, it was the movie within the movie was giving off Skeleton of Cadavra vibes.
Yeah, this is before Cadavra.
This is
a
bit before that.
It's also a higher budget too.
Oh, that's true.
And the director is Joe Dante. He's a huge fan of 50s monster movies,
and he pretty good effects in a lot of his movies.
Yeah. They're really good. Well, for what the movie is supposed to be, it's really good effects.
Yeah, for a 50s monster movie, if this
a fake 50s
if this did come out in the 50s, that would kind of blow the audience away.
Yeah, it's above average, I'd say.
But yeah, it's just like the movie within the movie is so
ridiculous.
It's so overly ridiculous because they're hyping up at the beginning, because
this thing will scare you.
Yeah, they're doing the whole Alfred Hitchcock
which
sort of opening, which is based off
the director in the movie.
But yeah, so he's hyping it up as it's made, a radiation testing and all that, and then in the actual movie within the movie,
they're using fake science.
No, what it was is that he was bit by an ant. Or
he was bit by an ant.
There was an ant on him or something like that while he was getting a tooth X-ray. That's the radiation was from an X-ray machine. It's so it's so silly and yeah, it starts off with
preposterous.
It starts off kind of like a little bit Invisible Man-y, where the ant
the guy,
and he kind of goes mad,
goes crazy,
and then he turns into just a straight up giant ant.
Yeah, and then the doctor, I guess the dentist.
Mm-hmm. He's a dentist, and he's half science, half the main scientist guy. But then there's also exposition scientist guy over here.
Yeah, that movie's just crazy.
It's fun.
I would recommend looking up that movie on YouTube, all the clips combined.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's a weird movie. The movie within the movie is weird, but you should also watch the full movie, Matt.
Yeah,
I
think they kind of go together, and that's partially because of all the gimmicks of the movie. Because it's in the 50s. There was there a number of directors or just kind of one?
There were a few who did it, but okay. So the director in this movie, Connor said said that William Castle plays this director. I got the things wrong. John Goodman. I really don't know if I got it mixed up or not at the beginning, but I'll know when I edit.
You'll know when you edit.
John Goodman plays this director named Lawrence Woolsey, who is based on a real director from the 1950s and 60s named William Castle, and he made movies like House on Haunted Hill, The Tingler, Mr. Sardonicus, 13 Ghosts. He made these movies with these ridiculous gimmicks. He would put stuff in the theater. For example, The Tingler, which is about this little worm monster that crawls up your back and just bites you and kills you, sort of thing.
So they put buzzers.
Yeah, they put electric buzzers in the seats to shock the audience at certain points in the movie. Which I wish that was a thing in real life.
And then, but House on Haunted Hill had the skeleton.
Had a skeleton hanging around on a string in the ceiling. It just had all these ridiculous gimmicks, and so we see some of that in this movie. We see
Well, they go above and beyond it. So you got the shock chairs, and then they have like a shaking screen, and they got smoke and
and they also have the guy dressed in the ant costume.
Right.
Running around the theater, which is based. I know there's a movie. I can't remember what it's called, but there's some movie with this. Well, I'll add an editor's note with the name of this movie.
Yeah, where a guy's running around in a suit. Sort of thing.
It's like a guy in a gorilla suit. It's like in the movie, and then they had a real guy in a gorilla suit in the theater. I don't remember what that movie is called, but I'll look it up after.
Editor's note: the name of this movie in question is Monsters Crash the Pajama Party.
Yeah, and the guy in the film
In Matinee.
Yeah, the guy in the suit is that
the crazy boyfriend.
Yeah, he's the crazy
ex-boyfriend. Looks like he's like 30 years old. He's going
like,
after like.
Well, we see him in a bar. He's literally drinking a bar.
He's like going
and these
after...
are all like middle school or like early high schoolers, and it's like weird.
Yeah.
It was the 60s. It was 1962.
That doesn't excuse it. Ugh. And anyway, but so yeah, Mant it was a good movie. Matinee was a
fun time.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, so the director in this movie is based on a real person, and
yeah, I think that's a good
really cool.
Good segue into talking about the characters.
Well, there's a lot of good tributes in this movie. Like we have Dick Miller in the movie.
Yeah, we got a lot of great actors. Dick Miller is always fun.
Yeah.
John Goodman, I would definitely say, is like the standout here. I mean, he's
Give
great
me
in just about everything.
I mean, he's having a lot of fun doing this kind of movie. But he does a good performance.
I like his character.
This kind of hammy guy.
Yeah, I like his character because he's not just like a sleazy business, man. He
the real William Castle.
He is a sleazy businessman, but he's also like like a good role model for like all the kid characters. Like he's giving them good like life advice and that sort of thing. And so he's like he's just a nice character. He helps like when he sees that the guy in the suit's trying to beating up one of the kids, he comes over and he tries to get him off him. So it's like he's a good guy, even though he's a sleazy businessman.
Yeah.
So it makes him endearing.
The ex-greaser,
yeah,
by greaser I mean like 50s, like 1950s greaser type thing. Ex-boyfriend character. He's a lot of fun, even though he's a little creepy, but he's a lot of fun.
He's silly.
Silly.
Well, that's the thing. He's got the whole like poetry thing, like where he writes poetry, and so it makes him like not so tough. And
he doesn't write poetry though.
Yeah, it's just like crappy.
It's just like crappy. It's like stuff like the rose. It's big and something like that. It's like a bunch of nonsense.
It's very hammy stuff, and I think it kind of helps, like because he's supposed to be kind of like this.
What does he see? What does she see in that guy?
Yeah. And so it makes him like he's supposed to be like an intimidating greaser guy, right? But he's like spouting all this poetry and quotations. He's fun.
Yeah, just and the rest of the kids are also good actors.
Yeah, the kids are actually I didn't have any sort of problem with them. That kid, he's a crappy actor. No, I think all of them are doing pretty good.
Oh, let's talk about the other movie within the movie. The shopping cart movie.
The shopping cart movie?
There's a part where they go to this movie theater and they're playing some movie about a sentient shopping cart.
Because like the joke is like the mom's like, oh, don't go see another monster movie. Go see that
shopping cart movie.
Yeah, go see the shopping cart movie. And so they go and watch a cheesy movie about a sentient shopping cart that's beating up burglars.
Yeah, which let me look this up. Because I read this a while ago. Yeah. By the way, the woman in the shopping cart movie within the movie is played by Naomi Watts, a famous actress. Connor probably knows her best from the 2005 remake of King Kong.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the same woman.
Oh my gosh.
She's also in The Ring and, Eastern Promises, and The Impossible and, better, more prestigious movies.
More prestigious than the shopping cart movie.
Yeah.
But not Matinee.
Yeah. She was apparently uncredited though, so
oh, unfortunate.
Maybe she gets like royalties or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of great little bit parts here.
Yeah, I mean the movie's a lot of fun.
Who is the old guy? There's the theater owner who's played by the guy from Star Trek Voyager, the Doctor, the holographic Doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was if Voyager was airing yet or not.
Yeah,
this was
he's also a lot of fun in that.
Yeah,
in the
he's
movie.
fun.
He plays like this. He's paranoid that the nuclear war is going to happen.
Yeah.
So he builds like a nuclear bomb shelter in his basement, and
in the basement of the theater.
Yeah, who pays for that?
Yeah.
How much does that cost? Actually, at that one point in the movie, the theater gets partially destroyed. He's like, the insurance will pay for it. It's like, this guy's broke. I mean, like, if he paid, like, a lot of money for that bomb shelter, it's like, you know.
Okay, I'm looking up the old guy. The old guy's name is Jesse White.
He best known as the Maytag repairman from, like, the 70s and 80s in the commercials.
Yeah, he's from, I think the best known thing he's in is, like, it's a mad world.
Hey, that's a good movie.
And he's also in Bedtime for Bonzo with Ronald Reagan.
That prestigious actor right there. Who is he playing in It's a Mad World? Because that's one of my favorite comedies.
Jesse White.
Jesse White. Let's see.
Watch, he's gonna be like, like unnamed gas station employee or something like that.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool if he was one of those gas station people that
I haven't seen the movie, so I just made that up.
Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be really cool if he was one of the... Yeah, everyone's in that movie. Jack Benny's in that movie.
Air traffic controller.
Oh, hey, I know that guy. I know exactly which character that is.
He's also in The Cat from Outer Space. So yeah.
The Cat from Outer Space.
Prestigious films. Well, I mean, It's a Mad World is prestigious.
Yeah.
But Cat from Outer Space.
Yeah, Cat from Outer Space, which we'll probably review one day.
Oh, no.
Lord knows if this show ever gets picked up for a second season.
If it gets picked up for a second season.
I haven't gotten it approved yet. Since we were talking about the effects earlier, let's talk about the effects. We did talk about the effects a decent bunch. Yeah. But yeah, the effects are really good in the movie. Like, both the real-life effects, like quote-unquote real-life effects are happening in real life, and the effects in the movie within the movie.
Like the sets. The sets are... They look like a city. It looks like a small town in Florida.
And then the early 60s sort of thing. I remember you were trying to identify...
I was trying to identify some fighter
planes.
I was trying to identify some fighter jets, and I couldn't tell if they were actually 60s fighter jets or if they were like F-16s.
Wow. A real man, knows how to identify the cars that are in the movie. Like the 50s, 60s cars.
A real man knows how to identify vehicles that could blow up the cars.
The cars can do that on their own. I mean, come on. Those 1950s cars
they can blow
were not
themselves
that
up.
Okay, come on.
All right, you got me there.
Okay, like those things were death traps, but they were really cool looking.
Cool looking death traps. May not have seatbelts, but dang, that's cool looking.
Well, some of them had seatbelts. They didn't work, but they had them.
It's a thought that counts.
Yeah, that's all that matters to General Motors and Ford and Hudson and all them. I think talking about all the main points. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Not really. It's just like an overall
fun movie.
Fun movie. You got a fun cast of characters. The kids are all great. John Goodman's, great. I would say, he's fantastic in
Dick
this.
Miller's great.
Dick Miller's always great.
Can't go wrong with Dick Miller.
Can't go wrong with Dick Miller. The movie within the movie is a whole lot of fun.
Within the movie's crazy.
And like watching, like all these kids' reactions to this silly movie. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is like,
it gives you an idea what it must have been like back in the day.
Yeah, they're like really like overreacting to like this cheesy monster movie that's kind of played up for laughs.
Well,
they're all like
you were like, did people really find this movies back then scary? Well, yeah, they did. I mean, Joe Dante in the trailer commentary he did for the movie Them talked about how he was scared of that movie. Another one he talked about how he was scared of like the Black Scorpion and all that. And I remember personally when I was a kid. This might be funny to some people, but the 1958 movie The Blob scared me as a kid because I could just imagine, as a 10-year-old, I think, 10 or 11-year-old, watching this movie, I could just imagine this red kind of goo type thing crawling around. If it gets you, you're dead. You're 100% dead. You can't cut it off or anything. You're dead. So that just scared me.
Yeah, I was. I was scared of Ultraman. Back when I was like 7 or 8.
Ultraman. It always goes back to Ultraman.
It always goes back to Ultraman.
I swear to God,
I'll force him. We'll watch some Ultraman episodes for this show. Mark my words.
I swear to God, every single episode you mention Ultraman at least once.
I've got to. He's my favorite.
Once or twice.
He's my favorite guy.
Yeah, he's okay.
I did mention Gridman as well while we were watching this.
Gridman. Or how about Godman?
Oh, Go Godman.
Yeah, isn't that like the Toho one?
Yeah, that's one of the Toho ones.
Where they reuse like the Gorosaurus and King Kong
that are all
too.
like dilapidated.
Yeah.
I think those episodes are only like 5 minutes though.
Yeah, the viewers at home have no idea what
They have no idea what we're talking about. Oh, Red Man, Green Man,
Zone Fighter.
Well, Zone Fighter was like those are full episodes.
Yeah. Well, what else can we talk? Godzilla Island.
Mirror Man, Godzilla Island, Get Going's Godzilla Land.
Okay.
Chibi Godzilla raids again.
The
Yeah,
TriStar Godzilla animated series.
Hey, that show's actually good.
I didn't like it when I saw.
Oh my gosh, you didn't like the animated?
No.
I'm gonna kill you. All right.
Wow, you've heard it here, folks. Well, anyway, final thoughts on the movie.
I give it an 8.
8 out of 10. I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. You know, this is a good movie.
I respect that.
Have fun with the movie. It's a lot of fun. As for the next time we do this show thing, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do. I hope we do more movies in the. Well, we'll do a few.
I'm sure we've got another semester
summer.
at the very least. We have next semester. So.
Yeah, and so hopefully we'll do like. I'd like to do more Universal monster movies. I would like to do.
I've got a list of movies as well.
Godzilla. Gamera. We were supposed to do more of the Gamera films, but we never got around to doing that. And hopefully, the Lost Skeleton of Cadaver returns again. We'll do that one. Hopefully.
Oh, if I can find it, I have to track down the DVDs.
If a fan,
if a fan of ours
is a fan of this show,
all 20 of you.
Yeah. Oh, it might be a little less.
Mom
than
and
that.
Dad, I'm talking to you.
Might be a little less than that because they're not watching this show. If any of you wonderful people own a copy of the Lost Skeleton of Cadavra,
Returns again.
It returns again, yes. Please send it to FHSU. Wait, one sec.
Are you gonna look up the Hammond Hall address?
No, I'm just looking up the FHSU address.
No, don't actually.
No, I'm gonna do it. Yes, please send it if you own the movie The Lost Skeleton of Cadaver Returns Again. Please send it to FHSU campus with the address of 600 Park Street, Hayes, Kansas. Zip code number 67601. Okay, just send it in the envelope. No context at all. Just send them the DVD, and they'll know. Right. But include instructions telling you who this is for. At least. So when they get the message, they're gonna be like, "Why the hell did someone send this to us?
Why did somebody send us the Lost Skeleton Cadaver Returns Again?
What is this?"